From 1789 to 1861, America was focused on fixing many problems that it had, including poverty, orphans, mental illness, crime, alcoholism, and many other problems going on at this time. An early problem in America was that many farmers, merchants, and bankers were forced to repay loans which they could not afford. Some of these people went to prison for some of these debts, and America had many debates on its hand about this problem. While farmers had the problem of paying back debts on their hand, they never really had to face huge hardships like other citizens of America. Some of the poor populations in urban cities were growing at this time, and these people began to struggle exponentially. This caused Jefferson's Yeoman Republic to come into effect, which drew attention away from some of the more serious problems that America was facing at this time. With the Louisiana Purchase and the westward expansion, no one was concerned about the poor working conditions of new companies popping up in New England. Jefferson had a dream in the early 1800s that America could become an agricultural utopia. With the increase in farming, the new businesses popping up with new businessmen, and new elected officials popping up, America formed a middle class. Cities on the East Coast began booming at amazing rates, growing faster than they ever had in the past, and with that, immigrants began coming in large numbers. Nearly 1 million people immigrated from Ireland to begin their new life in America. The conditions of the places where these people were forced to stay was just not nice at all. The buildings weren't up to code, and there were numerous health hazards throughout most cities. Epidemics began to rise because of this, and many other problems also began to occur. One of the biggest problems was widespread unemployment. It was worst when about one-fifth of New York's population was receiving welfare benefits and getting food from local and private soup kitchens. In New England, around the 1820s, it is believed that about 1% of the population owned approximately one-fourth of the wealth. And by 1850, that 1% owned about half of the wealth. What did they do about all these problems? Well, they created moral treatment, which was for Americans who had fallen into sinful lifestyles, such as crime, alcoholism, mental illness, or neglect of religion. Some social policies were also created to allow Americans some economic, social, and political opportunities. They were allowed to vote, go to public education, they were allowed land, and it got rid of the jail for debt problem.